The air was sharp with the promise of fall on a quiet Wednesday morning in October 2024 when the mail truck rumbled up to my gate. I was sipping my second cup of coffee, enjoying the stillness of my 40-acre plot just outside Willow Creek, a sleepy little town in Tennessee. My land, passed down from my granddad who bought it back in 1960, sits high on a ridge overlooking a shiny new subdivision called Greenhaven Estates. That morning, the mail brought trouble in a crisp, cream-colored envelope stamped with the Greenhaven Homeowners Association's fancy silver logo. I don't live in their neighborhood. Never have. But there it was, a letter addressed to me, James Tucker, accusing me of endangering their perfect little community. Inside was a fine $3,200 for hoarding water in the spring-fed pond I'd built back in 1995, fully permitted and county approved. The letter, signed by Margaret Voss, the HOA's new president, claimed my pond was a critical flood hazard to their manicured lawns below. They'd even attached glossy drone photos of my pond, my gate, and my old barn, snapped without my permission. Margaret, who folks around town called Notepad Nancy for her habit of jotting down everyone's minor infractions, demanded I drain the pond and dismantle the gate within 7 days, or the fines would triple. I'm a retired machinist, spent 25 years in the Navy, and I know a thing or two about following rules. That pond wasn't some backyard pudlight, was a carefully engineered system, built to code, designed to manage runoff and protect the land below from flash floods. But Margaret didn't care about facts. She was building a case, and I was about to find out it was based on a lie. I called the county and got through to Carl, the water management chief, who'd been around almost as long as my pond. "James, your setup's bulletproof," he said, chuckling. "Permitted in '95, inspected in 2012, all clean. They've got no leg to stand on." Reassured, I scanned my original blueprints, complete with the county's 1995 stamp, and emailed them to the HOA board with a polite note explaining the pond's history. I figured that'd clear things up. I was wrong. 2 days later, Margaret shot back a curt reply. "Your documents are irrelevant. Our records show your permit, WRT 305672A, expired in 2018. You're in violation." My stomach churned. Expired? The county didn't issue expiring permits for private ponds like mine. I dug through my files, a lifetime's worth of paperwork neatly stored in a fireproof cabinet, and found my approval number from '95. It didn't match their fake number. They'd fabricated it. Then my nephew, Ethan, a tech-savvy paramedic, texted me a link to Greenhaven's community Facebook group. An anonymous post, dripping with dramatic music, showed drone footage of my pond with a caption screaming, "Upland owner endangering our homes and kids with reckless water hoarding." The comments were a wildfire of panicked people I'd never met calling me a danger, a lawsuit waiting to happen. It hit me like a brick. This wasn't about safety. Margaret wanted control, maybe even my land. She was orchestrating a smear campaign, forging documents, and rallying her neighbors against me. I didn't sleep much that night. That fake permit number, WRT 305672A, glowed in my mind like a warning light. They thought I'd cave, pay the fine, and tear down my life's work. They didn't know who they were dealing with. I'd learned in the Navy that you don't fight blind, and you use your enemy's weapons against them. Margaret loved her rules, so I'd drown her in them. I drafted a formal letter citing Tennessee's Public Records Act, demanding every document, email, and vote tied to my property. I sent it certified mail, return receipt requested, and waited. Meanwhile, I visited Carl at the county office, showing him the HOA's email with the bogus permit. He shook his head. "James, I've been here 35 years. That number's nonsense. Never seen a format like that." We combed through county archives and found no thing-no permit, no application, no trace of WRT 305672A. It was a ghost. A week later, a thick envelope arrived from the HOA's management company. Most of it was useless, pages blacked out with redacted scrawled across them. But they slipped up. Buried in the stack was the forged permit, a shoddy Word document with a signature from a county engineer, Tom Harlan, who'd retired in 2015, 3 years before their supposed 2018 permit. Better yet, a single unredacted email from Margaret to another board member, titled "The Ridge Problem," laid it all bare. "We can't have water pooling up there. It's a liability, and he's not even in our HOA. Push hard. It wasn't about floods. It was a power grab. I called Ethan. He brought his drone, and we walked my property line with a survey map, confirming my gate was 20 feet inside my land untouchable by the HOA. His drone captured it all: the gate, the stakes, and Greenhaven's pristine lawns below, with a red line marking the boundary. Then my neighbor's kid, Lucas, a civil engineering major, ran rainfall models and wrote a report proving my pond reduced flooding risks. Opening the gate, as Margaret demanded, would cause erosion and sedimentation downstream. I had my arsenal: a forged permit, a damming email, drone footage, and an engineering report. Margaret thought she was the queen of paperwork. She was about to meet her match. The final blow came on a chilly Monday morning in November 2024. A courier delivered a notarized final notice of violation from Margaret, ordering me to drain the pond and remove the gate or face maximum daily fines and liability for any floods. It was a bully's ultimatum, wrapped in a gold foil seal. I smiled. This was her fatal mistake. I called Carl again, who said, "Document everything, James. If you follow their written order, the liability's theirs." I typed a response, stating I'd opened the gate under duress to comply, and nailed it to a stake by the pond. I mailed certified copies to the HOA, the county, and an old Navy buddy turned lawyer, just in case. Ethan set up a GoPro in an oak tree, its lens trained on the gate. That afternoon, with the sun low and a storm brewing, I grabbed a pipe wrench and turned the gate's release just enough to let a steady stream about the width of a broom handle flow down the runoff channel. It wasn't a flood, just a promise. The weather report predicted 6 inches of rain by the weekend. I sat back and let gravity take over. By Tuesday, the trickle from my pond reached Greenhaven's Greenbelt, where they'd planned their first annual autumn harvest gala for Saturday. But Margaret had made a fatal error. Her hired landscapers had raised a 40-foot buffer of native grass estate protected plants that soaked up runoff, leaving bare dirt. Ethan's GoPro caught it all. Worse, their storm drain was clogged with leaves and debris. No one had bothered to clean it. By Wednesday, a burst water main from a nearby pool installation sent thousands of gallons into the same drain, turning the green belt into a muddy puddle. Thursday's drizzle hinted at the storm to come. Friday night, the rain hit hard, pounding my roof like a drum. By dawn, Greenhaven's green belt was a lake, the gala's white stakes drowning in mud. Water crept up the lawns of 3 homes, soaking their fences. Margaret called, shrieking, "You flooded us. You'll pay for this." I sipped my coffee and said, "Margaret, I followed your notarized order. Check your mail." Silence. She hung up. By noon, a county drone buzzed overhead, documenting the mess. Carl had seen Ethan's video, which I'd emailed with 5 words. I complied. They didn't. The footage showed my stream, the raised buffer, the clogged drain, and the water main's contribution, a perfect storm of HOA negligence. The news vans arrived by 3 p.m., filming distraught residents. One old-timer told the camera, "This ain't no mystery. They ignored that drain for years, too busy finding people for crooked mailboxes." At Greenhaven's emergency meeting, board member Henry played Ethan's video. Margaret's speech, waving her notarized letter, fell apart as the room saw her order to open the gate. The board voted 4-1 to suspend her, pending investigation. The county slapped the HOA with $90,000 in fines for destroying the buffer, neglecting the drain, and ignoring a 2019 retaining wall violation. Their insurance refused coverage, citing negligence. Homeowners faced a hefty assessment to pay for repairs. I gave my file to a reporter: blueprints, the forged permit, Margaret's email, and Ethan's video. The broadcast exposed the fraud. Tom Harlan confirmed the signature wasn't his. The sheriff opened a forgery investigation, naming Margaret. She sold her house at a loss and vanished by December. The HOA added bylaws requiring board votes and engineering reports for actions against non-members. I rebuilt my spillway with Lucas, wider and rock-lined, certified by the county. Greenhaven fixed their drain and planted rain gardens. Henry stopped by one evening, shaking my hand. "Your flood saved us, James. That wall was one storm from collapsing." I nodded. My pond's calm again, my life quiet. The neighbors nod respectfully now. All I did was follow orders dumb once. So what do you think? Was I wrong to open that gate? knowing the storm was coming? Should I have fought harder in court instead? Or was Margaret's arrogance the real disaster? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories where the little guy flips the script.